Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Wednesday, February 23rd. We have all you need to know about changing mask mandates in Centre County schools, as well as the return of many state college festivals.
We also have more on increasing room and board rates on campus, along with entertainment, sports, and weather.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Caroline Diaz.
And I'm Megan Swift. Penn State students living on campus can expect a 3.5% increase in room and board rates for the 2022 to 2023 academic school year. The Board of Trustees voted to approve the plan during its meeting Friday, February 18th. Specifically, the increase is $212 per semester, with a $124 increase for double rooms and an $88 increase towards the mid-level meal plan. The raise was proposed by the board's Committee on Finance, Business, and Capital Planning and was approved in a 27-3 vote.
5 Centre County festivals confirmed their return this summer, some for the first time since 2019. These include State College's 4th Fest and Arts Fest and Phillipsburg Heritage Days. There will also be Centre Hall's People's Choice Festival of Pennsylvania Arts and Crafts and Centre County Grange Encampment and Fair. Executive Director of Arts Fest, Rick Bryant, claims the community favorite festival will look and feel just like past years. The July festival chooses 300 artists to participate in a sidewalk sale, which is attended by many members of the community. Overall, Centre County is looking to have one of its most, quote, normal summers, end quote, in the last 3 years.
The last school districts in Centre County with mask mandates in effect are in the process of making masks optional in the near future, the Centre Daily Times said Friday. Phillipsburg Osceola Area School District returned to optional masking yesterday. State College Area School District is set to make masks optional on March 28th, following a phased approach of easing coronavirus mitigation protocols. Once the mask mandates are lifted, both school districts are planning to keep social distancing requirements in place. In an effort to fundraise, Penn State's Black Caucus has created a thrift store for students and community members to get clothes at a great price. Field reporter Kayla Marrero has all the details. Take a look.
Black Caucus fundraiser chair Michael Shepard Gordon explains why he picked this event to be their second fundraiser.
I wanted to reach out to the community and really try to tie in that fashion as well as like that streetwear community aspect to the college community. I understand that a lot of college students are on a tight budget, and I get that as well. I like to shop. I like to reinvent my inventory.
Gordon said he wanted to bring back an event that Black Caucus did in the past. It was a part of the Black Renaissance theme. In the beginning of COVID, their mission was to revamp and bring the community together. Student entrepreneur Bubine Owusu brought his business, Be Your Best Clothing, to the event. Be Your Best was created as an assignment for his Engineering 310 class. He is selling various products from tie-dye t-shirts, masks, and stickers.
To me to help get my name out there. I know a couple of others on the Black Caucus e-board, like Jalen, has also helped me in terms of speaking with me to get other resources around campus.
Black Caucus will try to make the thrift store an annual event during Black History Month and their Spirit Week. Leftover donations will be dropped off to places such as Goodwill and local shelters in State College.
I am in the Hub Robeson Center outside of Hub 233A, where Black Caucus is holding its thrift store. If you want to participate in a thrift store, you can come to its last event on Tuesday, February 22nd from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. They will also be collecting clothing donations in the Paul Robeson Cultural Center throughout the month. For PSN News, I am Kayla Marrero.
A New Jersey man is currently contained in Centre County Correctional Facility after being arrested for alleged illegal drug possession, the Daily Collegian reports. The 20-year-old man has been charged on 30 illegal drug counts regarding the use, possession, and intent to distribute drug paraphernalia. Jared Sosa has been under investigation from Pennsylvania State Police and State Police since April 2021. Sosa was discovered when PA State Police conducted a controlled MDMA purchase with him. The MDMA was found to contain amphetamines. Sosa's bail is currently set at $60,000. After warm weather and sunny skies to start the week, it looks like there's a cold front coming over the weekend. Chris Lemo has all you need to know in tonight's weather report.
Well, definitely a strong cold front that came through early today. We hit around 58 early this morning. That was our high. The temperatures just fell throughout the entire day into the afternoon. Right now sitting at about freezing. Overnight tonight, 23 degrees, an overcast sky and quite blustery out of the north and northwest. So a cold wind there out of Canada. So much different than what we've seen the last couple of days where it was unseasonably warm. Now heading into tomorrow, it's going to be again a noticeable change. 25 degrees for your morning commute tomorrow to class, around 25 and overcast. Noon, 29 degrees, so again, not warming up a whole lot. The sun not helping us out much either, and getting up to 32 as you head home for your evening commute at 5 o'clock. So again, tomorrow, a lot different than what we've seen the last couple days, but at least drier in addition to those colder temperatures. Now, as we head into the weekend, this is going to be our big story right here, and that's that icy mess Thursday night into Friday. Now, currently, we have this storm that's going to track up to our west through the Ohio River Valley. That's going to bring in some warm air aloft, but we're still going to keep this cold air at the surface, which when you get that warm air over that cold air, that's the recipe for sleet and freezing rain. That's exactly what we have in store later Thursday night into Friday morning. Definitely going to want to stay off the roads during that time, as I think it's going to be pretty messy. We really haven't had a lot of those all snowstorms this winter, and it seems like another one of those sloppy messes here as we head into Friday. So definitely slick roads. If you can keep travel to later on Friday, it'll be better once temperatures rebound above freezing in the afternoon. As we head into Saturday and Sunday, though, a lot clearer and colder, though. So again, getting back to those seasonable temperatures, no more of those 50 to 60 degree days, which I know a lot of people enjoyed earlier this week in State College. Now taking a look at the 7-day forecast, you can see today we had that very warm high, but if you notice the next couple days, nowhere near that, much closer to the wintertime temperatures that we had before this sort of warm up earlier this week. Really only precipitation that we're going to see is on Friday, Thursday night into Friday, with that wintry mix. As we head into the weekend, again, not all that bad. Just a little chilly into the 30s. Probably a nice weekend to stay inside, you know, maybe do some movie watching, drink some hot chocolate. Definitely Friday a good day for that with how messy it's going to be. Then as we head into Monday and Tuesday, you can see a lot cooler on Monday. Tuesday, maybe in the middle of next week, warming up. But again, none of those 50 to 60 degree days that we saw earlier this week. That's all for me now. Coming up next, Ben Russell has the latest on all things Penn State sports.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Ben Russell with your sports update. Penn State men's lacrosse suffered its third straight loss on Saturday, losing to St. Joe's by a final score of 15-13. The Nittany Lions led 8-6 at halftime, but were outscored 7-1 in the third period off the strength of 2 goals from St. Joe's attackman Matt Bomer, who had 6 goals for the game. Penn State attackman Jack Traynor scored 4 goals in the loss, while redshirt freshman attackman Jeb Brenflick scored his first career hat trick. Traynor ranks 5th in the Big Ten and leads Penn State with 13 goals thus far. The Nittany Lions are now 1-3 on the young season and will take on Yale next Saturday at noon. This past weekend was the annual 46-hour thon at Penn State, and several Nittany Lions were well represented. LA Rams safety Nick Scott, fresh off of a Super Bowl win, appeared in the Bryce Jordan Center alongside Pittsburgh Steelers tight end Pat Freiermuth. While former star QB Trace McSorley was unable to attend in person, he joined via video to cheer on the thon dancers and thousands of students in the stands. There was also a dance competition between several of the athletics teams at the annual thon pep rally, with men's soccer bringing home the victory. The 71st edition of the NBA All-Star Game took place this past Sunday in Cleveland, with Team LeBron defeating Team Durant by a final score of 163-160. Stephen Curry won the Kobe Bryant MVP award after scoring 50 points and setting an All-Star Game record with 16 three-pointers. LeBron James also hit the game-winning shot in his former home arena. The 75 greatest NBA players of all time, both past and present, were recognized in a pregame ceremony in honor of the NBA's 75th anniversary. That's all for sports. After the break, Kaylee Grill will bring you the latest news from the entertainment world. Stay tuned.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Kaylee Grill with your entertainment update. State Patty's Day is just around the corner. The annual informal holiday will be celebrated this weekend, particularly on Saturday, February 26th. Penn State, State College, and Pennsylvania law enforcement are working collectively to, quote, slow dangerous drinking and other impacts, end quote, linked with the party-related holiday. According to a release, uniformed and undercover police will monitor campus residence halls and neighborhoods bordering the campus to enforce liquor law enforcement. Damon Sims, the Penn State Vice President for Student Affairs, urged local establishment owners to prevent excessive drinking and prohibited Greek life organizations from hosting any events. Penn State students made an impact at the 50th Thon this weekend, raising $13.7 million for pediatric cancer. After 46 hours, many were eager to get back to their beds, leaving some of their belongings in the Bryce Jordan Center. Among the hundreds of tennis balls and pep rally shirts were some more unorthodox items. It was clear students found some creative ways to pass the time due to the leftover Velcro throw and catch tennis ball sets, yoga mats, squirt guns, and LED remotes. The overpriced stadium food even led one individual to sneak in an entire salad, but it was found untouched. Pop star Britney Spears is continuing to celebrate her conservatorship-free life with a $15 million book deal. Following a bidding war, Spears signed with Simon & Schuster, a division of Paramount, to release a tell-all memoir about her rise to fame, her career, and her family. She broke the news with an Instagram picture of a typewriter and flowers captioned, "Shall I start from the beginning?" Her sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, recently released a book that resulted in a very public feud. Britney sent her sister a cease and desist letter requesting her sister to stop mentioning her in the book's promotion. Spears' 13-long conservatorship, which she described as abusive in courts, ended just 3 months ago. That's all for your entertainment update. After the break, Palmolive Frount will be speaking with Jerpa Jeans creator Austin Thomas about his vision for the brand and how he got to where he is now. Stay tuned.
Good evening, I'm Paloma Frount, and tonight I have Penn State student Austin Thomas here with me. Back in 2020, Austin had a vision that saw past fashion and trends. He focused on something that stays consistent, comfort. With that idea in mind, he founded Jerpa Jeans, a new design for jeans with Sherpa material in the inside to provide comfort under cold climates. In the past few years, Jerpa has expanded into all sorts of clothing and accessories, growing the brand tremendously. Following their signature motto, feel the warmth. Austin, thank you so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you for having me. Excited to chat.
So tell me, how did you come up with the idea of Sherpa inside of jeans?
Yeah, so it was my sophomore year at Penn State. It was 2018. I went to Penn State football tailgates and saw some of my friends wearing jeans with thermals and leggings underneath, trying to kind of combine the two and stay warm. And so I've been always kind of big into fashion, and one of the things that was big back then was the jean jacket lined with Sherpa. And so I saw this problem. You'll ask any entrepreneur, they'll always tell you there's a problem. They were trying to come up with a solution. So I saw that, and I wanted to see if the jeans pants lined with Sherpa were able to be made. Talked to some suppliers, started the sampling process, and kind of just went for it. And now we found the pair that worked for us, where it wasn't where you were sweating inside, but also where you're warm enough when you're outside. So kind of just started, went for it, and here we are 2 years later, and it's been pretty successful.
So I love how you say you just went for it, but I'm wondering, as somebody who would have no idea how to do this, when you had the idea, how did you actually make it a reality? Who did you know who to talk to? What resources did you use? Did your major help you at all?
Yeah, so I did supply chain management for my undergraduate, and it definitely helped to kind of just have the resources from Penn State Invent, filing our LLC with them, and just kind of having some of those different resources from Professor Dr. Novak's supply chain pope. Just being able to kind of talk to some of those people to help me definitely helped. In terms of, you mentioned kind of just how did you go for it and how did you do, so some of the suppliers and stuff like that, it was kind of hard to go, but I think so many people get overwhelmed. I listened to a podcast recently, it was the boy was trying to get through the woods and asked the horse kind of, how do we get through? And the horse says, can you see your next step? And the boy says yes, and the horse says, then just take that, right? Like so many people look at, oh, we're going to need to get a marketing plan and we're going to need a product, and they kind of get overwhelmed by how much is there, and they don't just take that next step. And for me, it was just taking the next step, being able to kind of see if the product was familiar, and then just went for it. The marketing plan, models, all that stuff came later, but just going for it was truly the best decision I ever made, and it kind of got us to where we are today.
I love that quote. Like we were saying, the company has grown so much. What products are you selling now? How would you describe the growth, and what is the revenue looking now for Jerpa?
Yeah, so right now, I mean, my initial idea of the brand was just to do jeans, right? Jeans line with Sherpa. I wanted to do boot cut, regular style, black jeans, white jeans. That's all I wanted to do. It wasn't until COVID. COVID was actually almost like a blessing in disguise in terms of our jeans supplier went out of business, and it was like, hey, what do we do now? And so we expanded our product offerings into the hoodies line with Sherpa, and last winter we sold over 700 units of just the hoodies alone. And so just being able to kind of open our eyes, that showed us that, hey, we can be so much more than just a jeans company. And now we're expanding into, now we have hoodies, we have crop tops, we have beanies, and just kind of having kind of a wider variety of products that's making us a brand overall than rather just, you know, a jeans company or just people that are for the winter. And we kind of have to combat seasonality, and we're going to do that by kind of building on the brand.
Have you seen a consistent growth in your revenue? I know, you started 2 years ago, and with, I'm assuming, you have to get everybody, the news out that, this big company's out, this new brand. Have you seen a consistent increase in your revenue?
Yeah, we have seen a consistent increase, and I forgot to touch on that last question. So we just surpassed $130,000 in revenue, and a lot of newer companies, they're putting crazy money into marketing spend. And what's so motivating for us is everything's been organic. Our marketing plan is through our ambassador program. We have over 50 ambassadors now at over 15 colleges. So just being able to spread the word organically through that, and then word of mouth with the products are truly special, and it's definitely something special. So just being able to kind of do that is helping us grow. And we in the jeans, I think we were at around $25,000 in revenue. We jumped all the way up to $75,000 in revenue as soon as we dropped the hoodies, and now being at $130,000, getting into the retail space with Family Clothesline that's downtown, as well as we did something this year with Thon and their hoodies. And so just being able to do those different things and continue to innovate is kind of helping our revenue grow.
Like you were saying, ambassadors, having a company has so many different aspects to it. What does your team look like? Who is, handling your design creations, your finances, marketing, sales?
Yeah, so definitely the ambassadors do a lot of the marketing in terms of they all have a unique discount code where they all get commission. So that's that. And then there's about 4 people on the team that truly help and have their own roles. So Bradley Kraut is now one of my business partners who is a director of marketing. When you talk about some of the initial growth, it's so hard to get off the ground running, and Bradley helped with a lot of that, getting it to his network of people here. So he's a director of marketing, does a lot of the campaigns for us, does a lot of our marketing. Juwan Farah is our director of athlete and influencer relations. So when you see some of these athletes and influencers working with us, that's a lot of his outreach and his kind of communications. And then Nico Marsh is director of product design, so helps us with a lot of product designs, what color palettes do we want to go with, and that sort of thing. And then obviously myself kind of overseeing a lot of that. So far, those roles are fairly new so far. In the past, I kind of did a lot of it, but obviously as an entrepreneur, you kind of have to wear all caps of the business, but there's no I in team, right? There's a lot of people that are helping, even with design creation. I run polls on my Instagram to see what color is best, or what kind of design is best. So there's a lot of kind of things that go into it, but obviously the team effort is kind of what makes us succeed the way we do.
I know you and I were talking earlier, you're now doing your master's here at Penn State. As you head closer to eventually graduating with that, how do you see Jerpa continue to grow? Where do you see the future of Jerpa headed?
Yeah, so for me, I always try and play devil's advocate as to like, why would somebody buy this t-shirt versus a Nike shirt, right? And so to do that, you need to be able to differentiate it and be able to continue to innovate. And I think we've done a great job with that with our jeans line with Sherpa and our hoodies line with Sherpa. And so for me, I have 2 big projects that I'm working on right now with our crew necks lined with Sherpa, as well as next winter we're going to work on sweatpants and joggers lined with Sherpa. So just being able to continue to innovate within the space is definitely one of the ways I see growing. And then the second one is, I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Comfy. It's like that big oversized hoodie. They just got into licenses where now they have Penn State Comfies and Ohio State Comfies. And so for us, with one of our target markets being college students, if we're able to kind of get into licensing where now we have our Sherpa lined hoodies with Penn State logos or Maryland logos, being able to get into that that is another way. And then lastly, just being able to continue to brand, right? If we're always dealing with the seasonal business where winter's our biggest months, that's great, but being able to build the brand where now we can sell summer products and people are buying into Jerpa more than just the products, right? There's a brand, there's a meaning behind it, and that's kind of really where I want to grow and go with this.
I think it's so awesome how you're saying that it's not even just here at Penn State, but it's going through the whole country at all these different universities. You know, Jerpa is, like you were saying, is becoming a brand and almost like a household name. So I got to ask you, throughout this whole process, I'm sure it's tiring, what was your biggest inspiration?
Yeah, so for inspiration, I think for me, it's just waking up and doing something I'm passionate about, right? When I'm packaging, when I'm doing a photo shoot, when I'm doing work for it, it doesn't feel like work because I truly love it. And so for me, it's the inspiration is just being able to do something in life that I'm passionate about and that I want to give my 110% to. And anything I do, I want to give it my all and be the best that I can do. And for Jerpa, I think I'm doing that. And so for me, it's just stabbing away and seeing the progress and seeing our end goals, just getting closer and closer to the light at the end of the tunnel is for me what keeps me inspired and keeps me motivated.
Yeah, that's a huge message to everybody, and whatever career path they choose to do is, you know, like you're saying, don't make it a job, make it something that it's fun for you to do, something that you're truly passionate about doing. I think that's the biggest key to success. You know, thank you so much for coming in. It has been so amazing to hear, you know, how a college student was able to take such, you know, a different idea and really run with it. It is, again, a message to everybody out there that with hard work and dedication, any dream can become a reality. Now, next, we will have Caroline and Megan telling us the latest happening across the nation.
The United States National Archives and Records Administration is currently in communication with the Department of Justice regarding classified documents allegedly removed from the White House in boxes by former President Donald Trump, The Guardian said Friday. Trump could be investigated by the House Oversight Committee for possibly violating the Presidential Records Act of 1978. The archive secured 15 boxes in January that Trump had taken from the White House to his post-presidency home in Florida. The boxes included presidential documents, letters from Kim Jong-un of North Korea and former President Barack Obama, and a model of Air Force One. The Department of Justice has yet to determine if the act was lawful.
Police officer Kim Potter, who last year shot and killed 20-year-old Dante Wright at a traffic stop, has been convicted of first and second-degree manslaughter. She was sentenced to 16 months in jail and 8 months on supervised release, along with a $1,000 fine. Her sentencing was far less than the prosecutor's expectations. The maximum sentencing for first-degree manslaughter is 15 years in prison and a $30,000 fine. The case's preceding judge, Regina Chu, ruled that Wright's death was accidental. After the sentencing, Chu encouraged the public to be empathetic towards Potter's situation. The family of Dante Wright is shocked and disappointed by the sentencing.
In eastern Ukraine, pro-Russian separatist leaders are calling for a full military stabilization ahead of planned large-scale Russian nuclear forces drills scheduled by President Vladimir Putin of Russia, NBC News said Saturday. There are fears that Moscow is planning to use a spike in violence as an excuse to invade Ukraine. The pro-Russian separatists have been fighting government forces in eastern Ukraine since 2014, and they currently control land about the size of New Jersey. Moscow has denied plans to invade and is instead attempting to portray Ukraine as the aggressor.
A trucker convoy protest is set to occur during President Biden's upcoming State of the Union speech on March 1st. Following the similar protests in Canada, D.C. law enforcement officials are taking protective measures. A Homeland Security bulletin noted that plans to stop traffic to the Super Bowl were planned by the convoy groups but were never executed. The bulletin also explained that the groups were planning to disrupt the game before heading to the Capitol. Local D.C. officials are highly considering reinstalling the fence around the Capitol that was put up following the January 6th riots.
And that's all for tonight on PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.